Hey there YouTube, this is Rob Lamb. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I just want you to know that I try to produce content that'll help you in boosting your income, whether you're in real estate, working a full-time job, adding extra hustles, and just making extra money on the side. So in this particular video, I wanted to touch on more features about the REI Reply CRM that I'm using, particularly in the area of selling your properties. Besides handling seller leads very effectively, I'm also using this to handle my buyer leads, and I'm going to show you step by step how I set up the funnels and my pipeline so that these buyer leads are coming in from my advertisements, and then I'm capturing the lead and it's putting it into my system so that I can keep track of everything all in one place. So stay tuned, watch through the whole video, and I hope you really enjoy it and it can help you in your setup for your automation of your business.
All right, y'all. In this video, I was gonna go over how I'm using REI Reply to capture leads for buyers. These are buyers that are particularly interested in a rent-to-own type of situation, or even for owner financing. So I'm going to show you how I'm capturing the leads and how I'm attracting them through the website. I'm driving traffic to the website, and then it comes into my funnel. So just to give you an overview, here is my simple little website that contains a form that is captured in REI Reply, and then some basic pictures that I loaded. It's very basic, to the point, and I created this website with REI Reply, and then when I come in to my funnel, you'll see how I'm capturing various leads that are coming in right here under my tenant buyer. I have leads coming in. So in this video, I'm going to go into that step by step. So make sure you stay to the very end. So let's go step by step here. First of all, to set up what the pipeline looks like, that's this pipeline here. I called it a tenant buyer pipeline. You can do that by going into the settings, and if you come into the pipelines area of the settings, you can just create a new pipeline and give it a name and the stage you're in. All right, this is where you can create the various stages. I already created it right here. So you'll see here that in my tenant buyer, I called it tenant buyer. You can call it owner financing pipeline, creative financing, or whatever you want to call it. I created one called attention that happens to be when the lead comes in. At first, it comes into an attention queue. Then if it's a good prospect, and in my shortlist, I created shortlist, and I created a few more, like if I schedule an appointment with them, and these are just kind of came from default. I kind of left them alone, but you can always add more in here, like you've already met with them, or they've been, you can drag them to lost if or abandoned if you decide to disqualify them altogether if one of these leads are just not right, things like that. So this is where you can set up the pipeline, and it'll look like this when you come into the pipelines area under tenant buyer. I just looked at the information they gave me. Like I put the people in the short list based on how big of a down payment that they're willing to put down. Like this guy here can put down 75,000, 20,000, things like that. So they are in my short list. Now, second, we want to look at where I created the form. So let me show you my form. This is where you go into the marketing and the form builder. I took one of the existing forms that REI Reply provided, home buyer info form, and I actually edited it. Okay, and what I put in this form is based on their first name, last name, phone number, and I asked a question here, and this is one of the fields that's in the custom fields. So I asked them, how much of a down payment can you raise? To add a field here, all you need to do is basically under the section for custom fields, you can just add a custom field. And this is a custom field that I added. Here's what it looks like. You can pick a text field, or it could be a number field actually. So name the field like down payment, and then the placeholder is kind of like the word that shows up when you hover over the field, and then it puts it into the contact area, which is default. That's how you enter a new field. I named mine down payment, and I gave it a label of this full question: how much of a down payment can you raise? You see that? And then it would add the field in my contact. So I just did that for these other 3 fields. This is a date field, so when you added a custom field, you can just pick date for that one. And the other ones here are monetary. That's why they're dollar. They have a dollar sign in here. So you have to pick a monetary field. And then email is already one of the fields that's in the contact form. So this is what my form looks like. And so I created this to go into this button. I'm ready for my dream home. That's basically in here. You can give it the name of the button here, and then you can play around with these settings, like how much of a padding you want to have for it, and how big of a border. I just kind of played around with it to the size that I liked. Okay, so you can just do that as well. I didn't want to have full width, but you can do that too. So it makes it really easy. I colored mine blue instead of the yellow default that they had. So I just did that, and as you can see here on my form, see I just put that in here and it blended it right here. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Now we come back into REI Reply. So once you save that form, it'll be ready to be used. Now let me just show you a couple other things. For the on submit, I had it so it will bring up a message like, thank you, your form has been submitted. Alright, and that would just save the form here. So that's the form part. Now let's take a look at the website itself.
All right, I hope you guys have been enjoying the video so far. Hey, if you like it so far, press the like button, and we're going to jump right into exactly detail, step by step, on how you're going to be able to do this and create your own website. All right, so keep following along.
So if you go to the website, I pick my funnel. Are you sure you want to leave and discard all save unsaved work? Yes, I'm not going to save anything. So when I come into my funnel, I created a new funnel called Jacksonville Rent to Own. That's right here. And if you click on that here, I go into it. It's just a single page. It's very simple. You guys can do this too. It's not that hard at all. Basically, when you come in here, I gave it a few settings. I just wanted to show you what settings I have. I have my own domain, so I'll show you how I created that domain. Now, when you first create it, I gave it this name here. There's a subdirectory, like I gave it a word home here. If you edit the page, I just want to show you some settings here. Just a minute. Alright, when you go to the settings of this page is home page with the name of Jacksonville Rent to Own Houses, right? The path is home page. It doesn't have to be this way, but I just wanted to show you that it can be, what I did. So you can see this and mimic it for yourself. That name of the page is home page, and then this name here is home. Alright, and if I come into these settings here, you'll see how it's tied together. This is my domain. So I associated my domain with this site as well, and I can show you how that works. But I just wanted to show you these settings so that you are welcome to mimic this if you'd like, because I've got this all hooked up. Okay. Now, if I come in here to edit the page, it is a pretty basic page, and what I do is here, the green section is where you first create a section. Okay, when you add a section here, full width, that's when you create a big green part. And when you create the big green part, that's where you can determine how many columns you want. Okay, so for the main section up at the top, I made it one column big, and for that I just gave it like a headline. So I'm just doing this to show you how each one of these are. You see, so when you have the big green section, you have one column, and then you just put in a headline here, another headline here, and another headline here. And each one of these, you can just play with it here. You know, I'm not going to save this page, so I'm just wanting to show you. You can just manage each one of the headlines on the left here, and the color and all that. And I did the same thing with this one. This is another section. All right, see, this thing is called a section right up here under section, because once you create the section, that's when it creates the blue area is for the number of columns, and then again headline and another headline. In this case, I think I used subheadline, but you can play around with that. It's okay. This section here is the same thing. It's a section. It was one big section, right, like shown here. In this case, it is 3 columns wide. Okay, so what I have in blue is 3 columns. As you can see here, each one of these is its own column, which has its own small little sub headline. You see that word here, sub headline. That way, you can see what little pieces you put in here. It was really easy to do. All right, and then now the third section I have here, it contains 2 columns. So the blue area is 2 columns, and in each one of these columns you can just simply add pictures. See, so what I did is I hit the plus mark here, click on image, and this is where you can click on the image, and like right here you click on that, and then you'll see where you can pick the image. So you can click on that image and you can upload an image that you would find on your computer, and then when you pick that image, you click it and hit open, and what it's going to do is it's going to upload the picture here. Once it uploads it, you can just click that little check mark so that it will add it to this page. So I basically did that with each one of these pictures. I just hit the plus sign here, plus plus plus, and then it added my images here on 2 columns. For this column here, okay, for this column I first added a headline that's called request more information, and the form is very simple. It's just simply like if I come in here and put add, you just pick form, right? If you pick the form, you just select the form that you created. So like it'll be a home buyer info form, see, it would pick that one. So I just did it here, and that's why you see it twice, but I just wanted to show you how I was able to pick my form and add it here. And then in order to balance the page out, I just simply, you know, added another picture below my form. That's why you see it looking so nice and snug here like this. Okay, I'm going to delete that picture here. Alright, so I just added a few. You can add as many as you want. So that makes it a very, very simple form, but yet it does the trick. You know, they come in here and they're interested in the property. So that's that page. And then finally, let me show you, if I come back to REI Reply, let me hit back and leave my changes. I don't want to save anything here. I'm going to show you how I tied in the form to the website. So let me just show you something here. What you need to do, okay, if you go to GoDaddy, all right, you're going to need to buy your own domain if you're going to create a website and tie that website. If this doesn't apply to you, you can skip ahead, but I just wanted to show you some of the information on how I tied in my website to the REI Reply. So if I come into my GoDaddy settings, I can come into my rent to own, manage. I can manage my rent to own right here. And what you do under domain settings for your domain is come down to Manage DNS. When you click on Manage DNS, this is where you will see the DNS settings. For your website. Alright, and you need to put in this numbers here for the A record and Flash Funnels Messenger for the star, CNAME star, and for the WW, give it a @ symbol. The name server records here, these will be provided to you by GoDaddy. Alright, so if I was to come back here to settings, and if you go into where they have domains, they will tell you what to use. See, when you hit an add new domain, they will tell you to put this set of numbers under the A record, just like I showed you. And then for the CNAME record, you use this string here. So that's what this means. So just wanted to tie that together. And let me show you this. If you come in here, under my rent to own website, this is where I can pick the website that I created in my earlier demonstration. This is where it ties that website to the funnel. And this is the funnel that was created. Okay, when you go into the funnels area for funnels, that's what this is. Now, that pretty much ties it together, and I hope that this video was helpful to you. So good luck. If you have questions, you can let me know. If you want to sign up for REI Reply, I have links at the bottom here where I can also provide an hour of my consultation with you after you've gone through some of the training and help and gotten yourself set up. I'll be happy to go over some of my tips and techniques of REI Reply with you. You just have to schedule an appointment with me if you use my affiliate link in the link below in the description. Thank you.